Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, little children, dogs and cats.
No.
It's your boy Randy Choo, aka Mr. Chew on that, aka Mr. Smack, your great, great grandmother. And it has been far too long since we've um seen you guys, heard from you guys. Forgive me, I didn't have an opportunity to get my hair done today. Was doing a lot of cleaning up in Chew Studios, and I'm still nowhere near done because it turned into a storage when I left. But anyway, um, I just want to say I missed y'all, loved y'all. Um, you know, True Radio is here for the people. We always here for the people. I know I don't promote and advertise as much, but it's kind of hard to do that stuff when you do real work in real life. And you're not just a social media banger. So it's kind of hard to, when you're helping the community, to take pictures of people you're helping because then it disrespects them. And then I think about if I was in their shoes, I wouldn't want people taking pictures of me at my worst moments in life.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't advertise a lot. I don't do that a lot. People, we have a photographer that catches some of the community work, and but I don't. Shout out to Joyce Images. But I don't really like to get into showing people at their weak moments. To me, it's yeah. Anyway, I'm happy we're back. And as you can see, I am here with my illustrious co-host.
Yeah. It's your boy, Mr. Grandtastic, aka the Professor, aka Negro Suave, aka Smooth Criminal, aka Can You Chew Woo Woo in season 2.
And I am here with the lovely oh my
Quiet
Jesus.
storm.
Hey.
Succulent ribs and back rubs.
Oh, I like that. I like that. AKA internal audience, AKA succulent what?
Succulent ribs and back rubs.
That's it. We're going with that.
Yes. Listen, I don't really want to do a books and business tonight, but I do want to say rest in peace to a boxing legend. I'm a former fighter, so I got to pay respect to those who paved the way. Marvin Hagler passed away due to side effects of the vaccination he took. I'm not going to get into that. We're just going to wait till April 1st. We have a special guest coming back on the show April 1st. We'll dive into that then. But Marvin Hagler, as a fighter, people don't understand that your body breaks down. It is destroyed, not just in fights, but through training.
Mm-hmm.
You put your body through rigorous training, and then you get into the ring and you spar against someone, and you're working on different things. You're working on weaknesses. So just imagine if you can't block a right hand, if you don't know how to dodge a right hand, the whole time you're sparring, you're working on avoiding the right hand, which means you have to take the damage in order to get better. That's going to flow into later on in the topic.
That's why I'm not.
I'm feeling it already. But shout out to his family and send love and support, condolences his way. Marvin Hagler, to me, was one of the greatest middleweights to ever walk this earth. He got robbed in the Sugar Ray Leonard fight. Sugar Ray Leonard waited 6 years to fight the man, number one, but criticized Floyd Mayweather for waiting 5 years to fight Pacquiao. But anyway, and Pacquiao was a known steroid user, and Marvin Hagler didn't use any performance enhancement drugs. Anyway, and you notice when Pacquiao gets tested blood and urine, he loses, but when he doesn't, he wins. I'm just going to get anyway. Sugar Ray pity patted his way through that fight. He threw punches in the last 30 seconds of every round, but he lost 2 minutes and 30 seconds of every round. So to real fighters and real boxing analysts, he lost, but to the public, because he was loved and because he used to get his manhole plunged he got the judges to, yeah, Sugar Ray was getting plunged by other men.
I say manhole dog.
Uh,
Oh
um,
gosh.
so yeah, so I don't have much I want to say about books and business. I just want to say that we are in a very, very interesting time in American history right now as Black people.
Mm.
And today's topic is going to kind of dive into the mystery of what I'm the whole next 5-6 episodes is going to break down what I feel is the warfare of being Black in America.
Mm.
We got some heavy hitters coming within those 5 or 6 weeks that's going to really be challenging our perspective of things. And when I say our, I'm not talking about just us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the fans, the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I found out something that YouTube and Facebook algorithm manipulates viewership. What I mean by that? So, my father has a show on Tuesday nights called The Living Room, where real conversations take place. And we noticed that the moment we end the live stream, literally not even a minute after we end the live stream, we go on Facebook and we look at the views, and it's like 300, 400 views. But during the live, when we're actually live, it says like 20 people, 30 people are watching. So I went to Bishop Google, typed in some stuff, called somebody that works for YouTube, asked them about the different algorithms, and they actually provided information about Facebook as well. And they say they do that because they want content creators during COVID-19 to produce more content. So if you feel like you're getting lower views, you'll push more content. But the higher views you get, you'll kind of like cruise control. I think that is the dumbest thing a business can do. If you want people to push more content, pay them more money.
Right.
That's common sense.
Yeah, it is.
But I mean, hey, I don't own any businesses.
Fuck you,
Yeah, on the brighter side of that, and listen, so this is what I want to do. I don't even want to take a break. I don't want to discuss anything else. I want to go straight to Choo and Choke by Mr. Grantastic. I'm here. It's your boy Randy Choo, aka Mr. Choo on that, aka Mr. Smack your grandma. I'm here with Mr. Grantastic, and you gotta slow it down when you bring her
That's
name.
right.
No. Succulent ribs.
Succulent ribs and back
Succulent
rubs.
Back rubs, especially that part.
Jeez.
Especially that part.
Wow. Okay. So Chew and Choke, Mr. Grantastic, take it away.
All right, y'all. It's been a minute, but we are back with the Chew and Choke. Not the jump off. Y'all thought I was going to say that. Anyway, so let's get into these topics. People, you already know what it is. We'll bring up some things that's happened for the past 3 or 8 weeks since we've been here. If you digging it, you like it, hit them with the chew. If you're not digging it, you got a problem, and you hate how it tastes, choke on these topics.
Okay, so hold up real quick. Next week, I will be bringing back the call in.
Oh, okay.
I was getting chewed out while I was out of town, by the way, because people wanted to call in. So, but yeah, next week we'll put it in. Okay, go ahead.
All right, cool. All right.
So you can chew or choke on these
topics.
We
don't want to lose sponsorship. Anyway, no, I'm kidding. All right, so where I want to start off. Let's start off with the work industry. You know,
okay.
I'm out here trying to educate these children and talking to these people who are producing them. So kind of things been floating around, and people are on this tip where it's like we as a people should stop forcing our kids into a career. So what y'all feel about that? We should stop forcing our kids into a particular career path, not just any career, but a particular one. How y'all feel about that? Should you Chew? You agree with that? We should stop forcing our kids into a particular career path, or you Choke? You like, let the little niggas do what they want to do.
Yeah, we're gonna choke. Well, I'm not gonna choke with.
Oh, he's chewing.
I'm a chew.
He's chewing.
Actually, I'm not chewing. I'm nibbling. I'm gonna go in the middle.
You're nibbling.
I'm nibbling
Okay.
just a little bit. I'm nibbling.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to go with my nibble?
Yes.
Well, first of all, the nibble is a little gentle bite. It's not really. Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, my choice.
What are we talking about?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
So okay, so what I reason why I was kind of caught in the middle with that. I think sometimes parents can be a little obsessive over the career path of what their children are taking. When I mean that, I mean you are planning before the child is born of what you are going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think in that instance where it's just like, all right, you have no idea anything about this child. Yes, you can give them ideas or like help them with skill sets.
Yeah.
But saying like, oh, yo, you're going to be an accountant, you're going to be a doctor before they know what it is. I think that's just a little obsessive. Now, do I think that you should help give them skills? And, if you were, let's say I'm a teacher, so if my children want to be a teacher, that's cool. I'll show you the ropes, but if you don't want to be a teacher, I'm not going to be like disappointed. I think that's really kind of is if they chose a different career path, you shouldn't be disappointed in them that they didn't choose what you did. That's all pretty much. That's my nibble. But I do think you gotta open some kind of pathway to them, period. But not forcing them to do exactly what you did, especially if you're trash at it. Especially if you're trash.
I chose choke. I will say I agree with some points that you made. I say choke on it because I was actually listening to a video today. I've been listening a lot to content around toxic parenting because that is a thing that should be a topic actually. Toxic parenting.
Get out my 5 to 6 weeks, please.
Okay. All right. So that being said, I will say that things that I used to think was cool as a child is most definitely lame today. And I'll say twofold. I guess I'm a little bit of a nibble.
Mm-hmm. See, that nibble's catching on.
Parents lay down and have you, but they didn't really invent you. So you really don't know what that individual's assignment is. It does take a conscious parent to kind of foster all the skill sets and all the teachings that they can instill on that child, and the child really does have that ultimate choice to go whatever path they want to go on.
Okay.
So I do think it's good to allow the child to have choices. However, I can't say that applies to all, and
some but all.
And I also think that
some but all.
Yeah, I also think that a career is not a marriage. Like you can pick something, but I tell people, I plan on telling my kids this, like pick a 5-year plan. You don't have to figure something out for 30 years. That's what our parents had to do, our grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
In 5 years, you may completely want something different, and that's okay. But have a direction and have something sustainable. So for example, if you're an artist, I'm going to tell my kid, hey, go study business because you're going to need to operate that artistry business. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
If you want to take over the world, go learn some legal stuff, go learn some politics stuff. So I think giving them a direction, there's nothing wrong with that. And also there's also legacy. Like if you're a family of surgeons and you're like, I want my only son to be a surgeon, like son, go to surgery school, but also tell your son that's not the only thing that you can pursue. You can pursue other things, but it's not always about self. Wow. I feel like I just kind of
legacy is a tough two-sided coin though.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot. It's good, but then also it can be toxic when it's just like, oh, you have to do this.
Yeah.
And I think also we forget sometimes that the world has changed completely from our parents to our generation.
He is correct.
So like for them to say you're going to do this the way I did it, it's like that world doesn't exist anymore. Right. Like we all move in differently than you even can fathom.
Yep.
So that's another thing too, is that, and who knows what the world's going to look like in another 20 years.
True.
So
if I look at it like this, if my parents was to tell me to focus on one career, I wouldn't be as successful as I am today. I have so many different giftings that I'm still learning to master, but I've turned them into businesses. And I've employed people that are smarter than me and have more experience than me in all these fields to where I'm actually learning while being the owner. Mm-hmm. I'm entrepreneur at the same time. Mm-hmm. So I don't feel like first of all, this is 2021. this ain't this 1300s, 1400s where you know what I mean, like you get to just
go to a factory and work that factory job.
Yeah,
and you can
it's
feed
not
a full
it's
family and
not
come
that
home and
no
be good.
more.
Them days is gone.
Yeah, capitalism has really swept away, and white supremacy has really done away with a lot of ease in life.
Mm-hmm.
So if I feel like I have 5 children,
Oh, heap.
I got a whole heap of niggas.
You gotta start in 5.
But I feel like I can't limit them on just choosing one path.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When it comes to career, first of all, my children ain't gonna work for nobody. That's already set in stone.
I can't even imagine your children working for somebody.
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
I can't even fathom that.
And that's not just talk. Like
No,
the
that's
finances are there. They don't have to work for nobody.
Nah.
Especially my daughters. They don't gotta work for nobody.
I can't even fathom that. They'll be like, you know who my father is?
I'm going to make my sons work for somebody so they can learn how to submit to another person's voice and authority. But other than that, you don't have to work.
Have to. It's different.
But I'm placing you there so you can learn how to submit your will to one greater than you or higher than you in a certain degree. But anyway, nah, they good.
All right, let's move on, everyone. So speaking about businesses and entrepreneurship, so you know, on the Breakfast Club where bullshit conversations happen. Actually, I ain't gonna lie though. Like I've been trying to tell people, like Charlemagne's come a long way.
Oh, he has.
He has come a long way. Like you know, I know he's still got some work to do, but he's come a long way. But
Leonard, you know my number. No comment. Go ahead.
Just gonna keep. All right. So on there, they had a
shout out to Taxstone, man.
Very. They had a guest on there was entrepreneur. He had his own shoe company, shoe design company.
Okay,
is working with and celebrities caught on to his gear, and they were cool. And so how they would interact with the individual would just be like, all right, send me your merch, like, and that'll just be it. And so this was his comments. They were asking him how he felt. So his quote that was taken away from that is, the biggest threat to Black-owned businesses is Black people.
Whoa, say that again.
So
say that again.
This was the man's.
Say that again.
So the biggest threat to Black-owned businesses is Black people.
Man, he ain't never lied.
Oh man.
Done.
You choking on it?
Yeah, that's a choke. It's a choke.
Oh, she's choking.
Yeah, that's a choke. That's a choke.
Speak on it as a Black-owned business. Black business.
You want to know? Actually, I think before Valentine's Day, I would say choke. After Valentine's Day, I'm gonna say chew.
Wow.
That's unfortunate.
Okay, I want to hear this. Okay. I want to hear this, please.
Would you like to go first?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so now again, this is some banal. Okay.
Okay.
So as in my wife and I starting our business, right? And
shout out to Britt.
Oh yeah, shout out to my beautiful wife Brittany.
What's up, girl?
Who's probably still working doing paperwork. All right. So in my mind, I was like, all right, Black-owned business, Black people will take this and we're support it and run with it. Ignorance is the villain. This is real right. But okay, so we do an event, right? So in our minds, we're like, all right, we support a lot of people. Anytime someone's doing something, we supporting you. So we were like, all right, people are going to support in return. That shit did not happen, like at all. Nowhere close. So, and I thought it was just in my head. I was just like, all right, maybe it was this kind of thing. And then Mom spoke up on, the living room where real conversations happen.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Mom Dukes, man. You know what I mean?
And so they started talking about how even when they started
strong
out in the
Black
business,
woman. Yeah.
That they thought the same thing as well. It's like, all right, so I'm making my business for Black people will support it. And they felt that same resistance as well. So I think maybe just in the startup in the beginning.
But no. Let's put her comment in context. She was talking about church niggas, though.
That's
another
thing too.
Yeah,
that's another thing too.
Because we had niggas driving from Virginia coming to get this Hebrew fish. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So,
but that's what I'm saying. I think the resistance is not necessarily from all Black people. I think it's from your immediate group of people sometimes. So kind of
Okay.
like what mom is like the church folk. Like for us was the immediate people that we already supported on their things.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. It's not. That's why my perspective kind of changed because of starting a business and seeing the different sides of people, how they react to you doing something now.
Okay.
Because when it's them, they're like, "Oh, we all in this together, black folks. It's all us." But when it's someone else, they're like, "Let me see what this nigga really about to do." So that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's the greatest threat to black-owned businesses, but I do think we have this weird. I don't know, like we double dutching on when you get started. Like we don't really want to be the first one to support, but if anyone else jump on it, we'll jump on it as well.
IA.
Hello. So
That was the shadiest hello I ever felt in my
I
life.
Yeah.
You might as well say hello, niggas.
I think that black people hold we hold each other to a very high standard while, subscribing and moving in very low standards. So I think when it comes to black owned businesses, I think that we expect the most from black people with giving very little. And that goes two ways. Like personally, I've heard people say like my business thrived because of my community, because black people were around. Like nobody, like because black people made it cool. Like black people make everything, like whatever's cool is because of black people. So once you have a black person or collective support, everybody else wants to jump on it. You also have to understand we're new to this. Like slavery was. You can't even say like when slavery ended, because I mean people in the 50s and 60s were still picking cotton. So
we're still enslaved.
Still enslaved today. It's still legal. It's still, people are new to this. So I feel like when you have black businesses start up, there is this reputation, which I think is slowly changing, that, oh, it's black owned. It's not that great. I think just the last couple years, there's been a wave where we've seen some excellence happening, where people are becoming less apprehensive. But I've had too many people who started. There you go. I've had too many people say like it was black people who showed up. Like specifically, I had a promotions event company, and it was just like black people showed up. Black people. You also have to have the right product. I'm assuming you're referring to Valentine's Day. Okay, well. It's COVID, right?
Oh yeah.
People do have new boo. Some people, was single before COVID.
Side chicks deserve flowers too.
Okay, I don't know about all that, but I will say that I had plans. I would have loved to come, but it was just like timing, event, topic.
I really was
all
expecting you to be there.
Okay.
Well, I was looking forward.
I would have loved to be here.
IA walk through that door, and I'd be like, "Oh, what's up, my nigga?" Oh,
it was Valentine's Day,
so you was.
But also, just for the record, though, is I don't want it to make it sound like I don't think black people support because they didn't support that event. I started talking to more people, entrepreneurs, after we started, and hearing other people's stories. That was kind of like, all right, they had to get over that hump as well. Also, I will argue that black businesses is not new to us. It's just maybe it's popular again, but it's not new. We've done black businesses before,
but on a mainstream level, it's not like what it is today. Yes, we had to create our own economies because there was no choice, but it's different today. And I don't care what anybody says. Like, coming from. I mean, I was raised in all white towns. I do not see the same support like I seen with black people when it comes to, again, having the right product or the right offering.
Okay.
So
I think that the greatest threat to black businesses is white capitalism.
I think that as well.
That's why I'm going to decide to choke on that statement. I do feel like black folks should support each other on a more consistent basis.
I also think black folks don't support each other because of white capitalism, though.
I think also we have to put it in the proper perspective of the East Coast is always the hardest coast to get anything popping in. Midwest and West Coast, for some reason, they stick together a lot greater. I just came from the Midwest. what? When did I come back?
Monday.
Monday.
Yeah.
No, Tuesday. Tuesday, because Monday was the
Monday
funeral.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. But you know, the whole time I was out, like the moment I touched down in the Midwest, I had niggas texting me like, you touched down in the Midwest, like we got you. Like I'm like I hit my mans up like, hey, I'm in the Midwest. Pull up on me. Literally 15 minutes later, he was pulling up. Hey, I got a baby shower to go to, but I gotta show my love.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like here, it's almost in a sense of if you're not popular or if you haven't arrived, then we
Mm-hmm.
until you get there. But then again, that's some banal.
Yeah.
And so, but for my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
I think that white supremacy and white capitalism is the greatest threat to black-owned business. And I say that because before we came under this system, we supported each other heavily. Like,
I feel like you're about to dive into stuff that we're going to talk. I feel like you need to stop right now because you're about to dive in. You about to dive. I already see.
I'm gonna leave it alone. Go ahead. Go to the
board.
next one. Go to the next one.
Did you see him on the diving board?
Go ahead. Go
I
ahead, yo.
saw
Go
you on
ahead,
the diving
yo.
board.
Go ahead.
You was
Go
about to
ahead.
jump. I wasn't trying to interrupt, but I knew
Call it.
you was about to jump all the way in. All right.
Go ahead.
Let's go to our last topic, everyone. We're coming to America too. This is I do it. I do it. All right, Coming to America too. Number one movie in America.
The end. Choke on that.
There's been a split decision in the community about how they feel about Coming to America too. I'm not even gonna give you a perspective. I'm gonna just ask how you felt about the movie. That's all. I'll have no perspective. Coming to America too. Chew or choke.
I go first.
I wanted to root for it because I like to see the sunshine in. I'm lying, not in everything, but in some things, right? So I saw someone post like, why are people so mad? Because it was like a high school reunion. You got to see some folks that you haven't seen in a while, and that's what Coming to America 2 is about. Was you just brought a whole bunch of people together. And that's exactly why I say choke on that. Like, that's what it felt like. It was just like, oh, you're a celebrity. Okay, you get a part. You get a part. Oh, you get a part too. They were Oprah.
We all get a part.
We all get a part. And so I just
Eddie
was
Murphy
like,
said, "Pull up. If you close to the set, pull up." Like,
Right.
I mean, I'll just say as a kid, I remember seeing Coming to America and seeing the Michael Jackson, Remember the Times. Those were the two images that I got to see of Africa that wasn't Africa, that wasn't, hungry kids and flies. You know what I'm saying? Because at the time, that was the image that they were putting out. And we didn't have the internet. So that's what we had. And so just off of that film and off of the Michael Jackson Remember Time, which is one of my top 2 songs of all time, those were the images that for me made me be like, oh, there's something else out there. It was just those 2 images. I mean, although we saw infomercials and we saw all kinds of other negative representation, those 2 were the images that I saw that I was just like, oh, there's another world out there. And so to have that type of legacy and to kind of make it into a buffoonery type of Sambo type-ish film, I just was like, I was trying to like it, but they were trying to be so PC in the film, and at the same time they still were ignorant with some of the stereotypes, and it was like, get off my screen. That's how I feel about it. Yeah. The shout out to Tiana Taylor. I love her.
What I didn't like about the film was the fact that the nigga from Power.
Oh yeah, that clown.
He always gets the role where his manhood is questioned. I'm not talking about homosexuality. I'm talking about like him taking a stand for something. It's always questioned, like he's going with whatever benefits him for the moment. I like Wesley Snipes' character.
That strut was all that.
The strut was all that.
That was it.
Rafiki coming into the joint in human form ruined it.
Yeah.
Like
That was a little.
It made it like
yeah.
I remember some of my African friends saying they were offended by the first movie, and I'm just like, this one was kind of bad too. You know what I'm saying? And then the daughter, they made her like angry the whole time. I'm just like, oh, because we need another angry black woman trope.
Actually, I think the daughter she showed great character.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
because it showed her getting past herself and helping someone who was trying to take her position. And she got her position back at the end anyway. I feel like it showed. I'm not trying to dive into the topic.
That's every single
Okay,
time.
no,
But
your
it
perspective.
showed how strong a black woman could be in the midst of being treated unfair. And it showed how even by being treated unfair in circumstances she can't control, how yet her character can still put her in the right position. That's what I saw from my perspective
Okay.
of the oldest daughter. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think that what's the nigga name? Dre from Power. I didn't think he was gonna actually marry the barber, the hair cutter chick. I thought he was gonna go for
Tiana.
Yeah.
That's not Drake.
No, that's
you're
not-
mixing that. You're mixing the son from Queens. The
son from Queens.
the long lost son.
I thought he was gonna. Now I think Tracy Morgan was a little funny. But he's always funny in anything he does. So, but first of all, I already knew the second part was never gonna compare to the first one. I knew that from the jump. I just think all the niggas in the barbershop should have been dead, though. That's just plain and simple. I just think all of them should have been dead. Like, they was old, and niggas don't even live to see 60 nowadays. But anyway,
that's true.
Go ahead.
Did you want to say something?
Just to counter what you said about, I won't say counter. I'll just say different perspective in the sense of, yes, the black woman had character where she, showed resilience, although being rejected and then helping to groom the next person. And in the end, she won. But I'm just like, that is the story of a lot of black women. We have to be picked last. We have to be graceful at the same time. We have to be strong. We can't be weak, but we still got to be feminine. It's just like, you got to be so many things. And then maybe you'll get recognition and chosen.
I knew you were going to take
and
that
I mean,
angle.
it
But I'm
is
gonna
what
wait
it
till the
is.
topic.
It is what it is. It's like that whole, like, just reach for the stars always. If you fall short from that, then you're not that great. Yeah, I'm good.
I just wanted to watch a movie. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, everyone went like so political, and I was like, "Are we really taking Eddie Murphy that serious on that level?" I think that was because it was like, again, watching the first one, but also so my Nigerian and Liberian friends got together to watch this movie, and so the perspective they had on it, they actually were like, they liked the presentation better in this one than the first one, because, and like you were saying, like the stereotypes, whatever, but at least of this time, like before Eddie Murphy, like all the stereotypes, everything from the dressing, everything was just nothing but stereotypes in African culture.
Hold up, time out. Can we stop capping and acting like Africa hasn't been colonized as well?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, we gotta stop with this African friend approved of this. Like, y'all niggas is colonized just as much as we are over here.
Sometimes worse.
Worse, yeah. Thank you. Because
Because
why is all these British UK black actors getting all the black roles and anyway, go ahead. I just had to get that out my system.
But can I say, but to that one though, I understand where you're coming from like the black Brits taking over, but from the black male actors, they're better.
I doubt it.
No,
I doubt
and
it.
the reason why I say they're better is only because of going to an emotional spot and bringing that out with a character Not a lot of American men can do that in their own real life, let alone act.
There's at least 15 to 20 black actors in Los Angeles right now that are a lot better at acting than any Brit I've seen in film. And that's a fact.
I'm sure it is.
And they don't get an opportunity because the Brits are easier to pay.
Oh, I'm sure that'll probably thing
When
as
you
well.
say easier or lower, they'll take a lower pay.
See, what happens is once you know what you bring to the table and you say this is what I want, they don't even give niggas an opportunity to counter whatever they say next. So the Jews, the Ashkenazi Jews that run everything, that call themselves Jews, but they're really from Khazaria, they're not Jewish. They'll say, no, you're worth this. In business, you're supposed to negotiate now. We're at the table. I brung this, you brung that. Let's negotiate.
Right.
Niggas can't do that, but the Brits can do it all day long, which is why Fred Hampton was played by a Brit. All American, the TV series, that's by a Brit. Snowfall, that's by a Brit.
Correct.
Like this, but there were better people that auditioned for those roles that just got the.
But the only thing about with that is just, especially and it's really just for me, is just like the black male actors. I'm not saying that actresses are not important, but it's just like with certain moments and certain parts of their roles of going deep in an emotional spot. That's the one thing from a lot of black male actors I haven't seen go into a deep place besides Lakeith. And he's like really, really out there. Like Lakeith, I said, can compete with them because he's like out there like a Johnny Depp kind of
Will
actor.
Smith?
Will Smith can't go. Will Smith did that once.
What movie?
Where he was acting like the doctor.
No, was that the concussion giant?
I think the concussion.
Yeah, no. Like Will Smith is the same character in everything that he does.
That's not an emotional spot though.
No.
I don't think so.
Really?
I'm sorry.
Nope.
I think
Really?
Will Smith has range.
I like Will Smith. I don't think Will Smith has. I think he does have. Okay,
so
Will
let
Smith
me-
you
has
see
range.
that 7? It was a 7
7 pounds. That's what I say.
He
7 pounds
went-
was great.
I mean, he went in on that movie.
But then, what other movies has he gone in?
The one with the son. Pursuit of Happiness.
Pursuit of Happiness.
I cried.
Yes.
All the way on that one.
Give me something else.
There was the Legend movie.
Okay, no.
Fresh,
He did a good
Fresh
job because it was just him.
Prince.
Horrible movie. But he played a good
Fresh Prince.
Yes, that one scene. Yes, and
It wasn't just one scene.
That's an iconic scene, though. And
that
there
was
was
an
more than one.
iconic scene. Okay, so you have Will Smith. Give me another one.
Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
Give me another.
Samuel. Oh,
Sam-
No,
No,
please, no. See,
hold on. You got Will
And
Smith.
I'm not saying that black male actors in America are not.
What about
good.
the guy?
I'm not
saying
What
so.
about the from was that from? Not from All of Us.
Oh, he's good. He's good. No,
What's his name?
oh, what's his name? But he's good though.
He's good. You know who
He's
I'm talking
good.
about?
Yes.
From not from All of Us.
the
One show that everybody likes.
Everyone cries every episode.
Yeah.
Yes, I know you're talking
He's
about.
very good.
He's good. How old is he, by the way?
the nigga who
He probably
played
in his 40s.
Dembe on
Okay.
Blacklist.
Who?
I ain't see that.
What about
Jeez.
Kimora Lee's ex baby daddy? What's his name? The African.
You know who's a real good American actor?
who?
Jesse Smollett.
All right, so our
Moving
topic
on.
today.
He got beat up.
Our topic today. No, it's not that I hate on black American actors. I think that just
No, I don't want the audience to even
Yeah.
assume that
What
that's
about
you were
Michael
saying.
B. Jordan? Okay, moving on.
yeah. Okay. To look at or to acting skills.
I don't really think he's all that fine. I think he looks regular dude. Next,
And he plays the same role in every movie.
he does. He does.
Every role in the same movie. But that's another thing too about in our media that we gotta be able to start taking control of not just creating our own roles for our own typecast. So it's like if we're able to,
So can you name a Brit?
You know what? I feel like we did have black male actors, but then they started to feminize them. Yes, and then they brought over the.
Oh, y'all
Yeah.
getting
So,
into
like,
the topic.
I feel like the Brits are not. For some reason, they're seeing
they don't
that-
have to go.
they don't have to
Can
go
the
through
Brits
that.
hold down a main role without the support of a black American?
What do you mean as a black man, as another actor or like
a supporting
coach?
actor?
Yeah.
As a supporting actor?
I mean, we haven't seen
Yeah,
it.
I don't think that.
But I don't know.
Wait a minute. Hold
Judas
on.
and the Black Messiah. There was a supporting American black actor.
Yeah.
You're asking,
every movie that a black Brit has played in.
No, we're saying we haven't seen one where it has not been
right.
that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I misunderstood y'all.
Oh yeah,
my bad,
no,
my
we're
bad,
not
my bad.
disagreeing. It was
Okay,
just
okay.
like no,
Right.
Okay.
because when they come over here, you can't have an old like Brit cast. That's what I'm saying. Like we haven't just seen that because we don't even really see their work in.
I mean, I used to watch British shows when I was a kid, and I used to think the acting was not good.
I'm not gonna cap though, but the nigga that played in All American is doing his job. You wouldn't even think he was a Brit.
You don't. And
You know
when
what I
his
mean?
dad
Yeah.
died, yo,
I gotta shake your hand on that.
Yo,
one. Yeah, I yield.
I'm telling you, when his dad died and he screamed, I was like, oh Lord. And then they had a nerve. Spoiler alert.
I still haven't rented it. I haven't watched yet, so
That's okay. They had my bad. I'm sorry. Spoiler alert.
Soaptoday.2.
You know niggas
get all
die
the
every day.
episodes. Sorry, it's just I'm a streamer.
Okay,
No.
Yeah.
got it.
Did we ever finish Coming to America 2 conversation?
I don't know if it's worth it.
I mean,
I don't think it's reasonable.
I also think that
how do we get the black Brits from?
I don't know.
How did we get the black Brits?
It's True Radio. We talk about what we talk
No,
about.
I'm just curious. I just don't know how we got there.
The bridge was Dre from Power somehow.
Then you was talking about the Africans getting colonized, and then
and then black Brits. Okay, so
yeah.
I was just curious on how we got there. No,
yeah.
There you go.
I want to do something special. So we're gonna take a quick break. Are you finished or you got one more?
I'm finished.
You sure?
I'm good.
that was the list.
I'm good.
Aren't you disappointed just like I am?
Let's go one more. Come on now.
Jeez.
Oh
Don't
my
pull
gosh.
out
All
before
right.
we finished. Okay.
Whoa.
It's like, hello.
That is not what she
Quiet
said.
storm.
I just
Succulent ribs and
I'm
back ribs.
Back rubs. Don't pull out before you finish. I've never heard that one. All right, wait, but all right, let's see here.
This is what happened when we're not together for 3 weeks.
I know.
I missed you guys. Man.
Yeah, no cap.
It was hard.
Yeah, it really was.
Okay, actually, so this one's not a specific answer. This is actually a multiple choice question. All right. Shout out to JB versus Everybody podcast, everybody. All right.
Shout out.
So this is the buffoonery that he posts on Instagram.
So if anybody wants to call in, look, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place the link for you to video into the show tonight.
What?
You can video. I'm gonna copy and I'm gonna place the link in the chat.
Wow.
Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, my videos up. All right, so multiple choice question, A through D. And again, this is not me. This is buffoonery from all.
Okay.
Okay. So don't put this on my side.
Please hurry up because we gotta
All
get
right,
to
great.
this topic. It's about to be some hot monkey lava in
See,
this
I
joint.
tried it. All right, anyway, so a man proposes to his woman with a receipt of her $70,000 student loan debt being paid off in full
I do.
in place of a
Oh,
ring.
sorry. Okay.
She thanks him, but says she still requires a ring before getting married. What is she? A, reasonable. B, ungrateful. C, smart. D, dumb. I'll read that one more time. So a man proposed to his woman with a receipt with $70,000 student loan debt paid in full in place of a ring. She thanks him, but says she still requires a ring before getting married. What is she? A, reasonable. B, ungrateful. C, smart. D, dumb.
Boy. I'm probably gonna lose no matter how I answer this. I'll just stick
Y'all
my
asked
feet
for
in.
this. I put the paper down.
I'm gonna have to say that she's ungrateful.
I can read your mind, baby.
And she's dumb. And let me tell you
Know what
something.
Ooh,
She's dumb because I'll say this, like,
this is a multiple select.
like, most definitely I get it. Like, you want the nice ring and all of that. It's kind of blah blah blah. But the $70,000 that he just saved you, sis, you can go take 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 out of it, and you know,
$70,000 of what?
Student loan debt paid with a receipt. Not I'm going to. I did.
no,
Are you finished yet?
I'm
I
done.
don't want
I'm
to cut
done.
you off.
No, that's it. Dumb and ungrateful.
I'm gonna say that the nigga is dumb.
I'm not surprised.
And this is why. You could have got rid of that student loan through another process than paying the full amount.
Mm.
And I'm not talking about scams. I'm talking about legit ways.
Please tell me. I'm trying to get rid of mine.
Listen, if you want to get rid of student loans or anything else, I got the perfect program for you. It'll take you literally a month and a half, and we'll get it erased off your credit.
Is my credit going to be shot after that?
No, it's not. It's going to boost after that.
Okay, let's talk
Like,
after this.
The person that I'm under in that business, his name is Robert Gold. His credit score is over 800. Yeah, he was on the living room.
That's
Yeah.
We're real
The
conversation.
millionaire.
Yeah, the millionaire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you
Okay.
still have to pay it back?
No, you don't.
You're done.
You're done. So, like I said,
Okay.
that nigga, I won't say he's dumb. I think he should have had people around him that could have been like, hey, we can get rid of it this way. Because there's multiple loopholes within this matrix where you can get rid of certain stuff. But I will say that I agree with IA by saying the female's dumb, because if a man is showing you that type of loyalty with his finances, and it's very hard for a man to get a hold of finances nowadays, and he does that, and you want a ring that doesn't guarantee his commitment. But money can guarantee you commitment.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
I'm sorry.
She's dumb.
She need to get in her car.
Is this real life?
Like, yeah, no, it's legit a real article.
Yeah.
Like, she
Can
needs
I
to
know the
get in her
race?
car. She needs to
That's black and
drive
white.
to her
Who's the
nearest
difference?
Walmart. Hold up, let's. I'm giving her instructions right
Okay, I
now.
hope she's listening.
She's stupid.
Get in your car, start it, drive to your nearest Walmart, get out your car, walk inside, go past the registry and the self checkout, go past the clothes, make that right or that left, past electronics, and go to sporting goods. Get you a shotgun, get you some shells, get back in your car and shoot yourself.
That was very thorough.
It was, wasn't it?
I was giving sound effects. to
Yeah,
the
she
too.
need to shoot
Okay.
herself on that one. But
She dumb though.
Yeah, I don't even know why you would. I'd be like, yo, I'm yours. Like, signed, sealed, delivered. I'm
So
yours.
did the guy adhere to her request?
I don't know. All I know is if it's
I need
like,
to know who these people are.
I am
no
no cap.
No cap.
It's been some stories that came out. I was like, where was these niggas at when? Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he single? Because
he may be.
I mean,
He might be ready to mingle.
Most likely.
Hold
Okay.
up. Hold up.
What?
He got to go through me to get to
All right.
IA.
It's a
I
screening
shoot
process.
niggas. I'm just saying. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, come on now.
He gotta go through me first. I'm like, yo, nigga, what you got for my student loans? All right. Be like, yo, you gonna date the sis? You gotta.
Listen.
Can you get just
If you want to holler at the co-host on my show,
Y'all some gold diggers.
you want to holler at the co-host on my show.
There is no such thing no more.
You're right.
And plus, if the correct term would be gold niggas. Anyways, all right. Let's get to the topic.
Listen, what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break. And when we get back, we're going to introduce the topic
Yeah.
and get on with this discussion. It's your boy, Randy Choo, a.k.a. Mr. Choo on that. And we'll be right back after this quick 2.2. Deuces. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, little children, dogs and cats. Sorry that was longer than 2.2 minutes, but we were having a great discussion. We're going to make that a whole different topic for another show. Anyway, it's your boy Randy Choo, aka Mr. Choo on that, aka Mr. Slap. Yo, hand me my cup, please. I think they need to. I don't think they believe me when I say that.
They don't believe.
Blessed is he that seeth. Smack your great, great, great grandmother. Choo Radio. And I'm here with my illustrious co-host, Mr. Grantastic.
Yes, everybody. It's your boy, Mr. Grantastic, aka the Professor, aka Negro Suave, aka Choo Woo Woo in season 2.
And I'm also here with the lovely.
The lovely.
Oh God. Quiet Storm.
AKA IA, AKA internal audience, AKA we just gonna say back rubs because that's what I like.
Succulent ribs and back rubs.
Okay,
Back
succulent ribs.
Jesus, have mercy. Anyway, tonight's topic. Grantastic, read the topic.
Oh, snap, crackle, and all kinds of pizzop. I get to read today.
Yes, you get to read the
I
topic.
get to read today. Are we still at war in this society as black men and women? Not against each other, but are we still at war in this society?
First of all, I want to say this, and I'm setting this up for a great conversation. There are a lot of black men and black women out there that want to identify the war between a black man and a black woman. Let's take some moments to talk about this war. But not only are we going to take a moment to talk about this war, we have black men and a black woman in studio to talk from their perspective about their opinion and their experience.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to start it off with a question.
Oh, it's about to get real, yo.
I got like 4 or 5 questions, but I'm going to start off with this one real quick. Is the black woman skipped over in business, home life, community life by the black man, i.e. then Mr. Grantastic?
Oh, that's a
Can I ask, what do you mean by skipped over?
yes.
Mm-mm.
Damn it.
So skipped over, does that mean like, she's not appreciated, recognized, she's not getting promoted for it?
When I asked the question, what was your first thought?
Skipped over was like she's not getting recognized, she's not reaping the work that she's putting in for that.
So
She gets skipped over.
So answer me from that feeling.
From a business perspective, it depends.
Okay.
I think a lot of black women are creating their opportunities probably because they are getting skipped over by society. And I would say that includes black men as well. The home life, I do think a lot of women, I think it's a cycle. I think a lot of women don't necessarily want to allow a man to step in certain places because they feel like he doesn't lead, he doesn't do his thing. And then in turn, like some men are like, all right, well, no, I'm not going to lead. I'm not going to step up. I'm not going to intervene. You strong, you got it. What was the last thing? Home life, business, community. I think black women is what carries the community, honestly. And there is an expectation for black women to carry the community. But we're not really directly benefiting from carrying the community. So
Okay.
Grantastic.
No, I like that last piece that you said. I think especially in the community, I think it's kind of like a double-edged sword with it, right? Because it's like black women's had to uphold the community for so long, but then that's not necessarily to our deep core is how we want it to go. Like we don't want Black women to be the only ones holding up the community, right? Um, so I see and I agree with you on that point. I think there's a lot of narratives that people are trying to figure out if they're believe or not. Because I think times are kind of like things are changing, especially in our generation. I think we are changing a lot of narratives, but it's just not being talked about enough. But I do think the Black women get skipped over in some arenas, but then I think that, like you said, of because they were getting skipped over, they're creating their own opportunities as well. But I do think there's it's just narratives. I think that's the one thing we have to like tread softly. There's narratives of like what you think and then what is really happening. So yeah, so and I think one point is this because someone kind of brought this up where it was one of the things that like Black women are excelling everybody in like a lot of arenas right now. And education comes up as one. And somebody said a point of like, are Black women excelling in education or they're excelling like institutionalized education or just enrollment? So that's where it's just kind of like, oh, we'll say a statement, but then it's like, all right, what's really happening all the way down that statement? So that's just kind of this. So I think there's some skip over. I think that there's some narratives we gotta actually do some examining in and to determine if it's truth or not.
Who has created the climate for Black women and Black men to be able to bump heads?
It started with your folks, you already know, like, yeah, I fell and bumped my head, like thinking that it started with us. It started, I mean, there's the Africans sold us into slavery, but who came in proposition?
Africans did not sell us.
And I agree with that.
That's propagated.
But I do believe it started with them, but I do think that they created a system where they can do a little bit of meddling and we carry it on. We carry it on. So now that we have access to the education and the understanding, it's just like people are choosing to be ignorant. And I think it starts with, if you don't want to like anybody else, that's fine. Well, that's another argument, but I will say, like, start with liking yourself. Start to heal yourself, because once you're really healed, that's all you have to pour out. We have hate because that's what we feel inside for ourselves.
Why is it so easy for Black women and Black men to attack each other instead of realizing who our real enemy is?
Because niggas put a lot of money and effort into making sure that we are attacking each other and not them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know any other way to say
that's
that.
That's true.
I'd say that because we're all human. We're all flawed. Mm-hmm. We have our weaknesses. As a Black man raised by a very powerful Black woman, I don't see myself at war with Black women. I try my best. Every Black woman that I run into, I try to show them honor and respect until they show me who they really are. Then I treat them accordingly.
Right.
But I realized in my experience that Black women don't do the same. I'm automatically looked at as a womanizer or someone who's manipulating the conversation to get something from the Black woman, when all actuality, the reason why I ask questions, not just because I'm a rabbi and I love to teach and I love to probe people to grow higher and stronger, but I ask questions because I'm trying to find understanding about who they are as individuals. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to figure out from your experience where you're at, because I understand that we're all under white supremacy. Mm-hmm. And so we all are not in the condition in which we really should be. And that's including myself. Mm-hmm. So if I'm asking questions, if I'm having conversations, if I'm probing, it's because I want to understand where you're at so that I can properly understand how to treat you. There was a statement that was said on True Radio 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. Hoes are winning. But who had the courage to call black women hoes?
Mm.
Do you realize that having one man or one woman in the home is only about 215 years old?
Hmm.
It wasn't just about sex. It was about economic development. It was about aligning kingdoms. It was about an emotional connection to where, okay, this other woman is not a threat to me, or this other man is not a threat to what I've established, because we have an understanding. What we do in America today is this: we study their ancestors, or if they had multiple women, then I should be able to have multiple women.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different context today. And you didn't go into your relationship with that on the table. I believe in having multiple women.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because you knew for a fact that that other person you were speaking to would not accept you having another lover. All this is because we're under a system that is designed to keep us bumping heads. Why is the argument this month, when we're supposed to be honoring our black women,
Mm-hmm.
the argument has become black men is oppressing us? Well, I'm sorry to say this, but as a black man, I don't have the power to oppress you. I have the power to abuse you, but I don't have the power to oppress you.
Mm-hmm.
We need to knock the oppressor off the high horse and then get back to how our ancestors was running things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the word throne is? A feminine word. In other words, in ancient Kemet, Egypt, a pharaoh could not sit on the throne unless it was announced by a woman. If you study African culture, and mind you, I've been over in Africa. I've been over there.
Mm-hmm.
I've even been to Dubai, and they're not even African. But anyway,
Another story, another day.
yeah.
Yeah.
The woman is the person who sets the man in authority. But see, in American society, black men have been taught you're supposed to have the authority, but we haven't been taught how to properly gain that authority in the home. If you notice, you hear old stories from the 50s, 60s, 70s. Mama took care of the kids. But you know why mama took care of the kids? Was because mama's voice was seen as the authority to the children. And if you did not listen to mama, her enforcer came into play, which was known as father. Now you have a problem because the father enforces what the mother already laid as the foundation.
What did your father do?
Oh, you don't want to listen to me? Wait till your father get home. Why? And I tell my sons this all the time. Before she was your mama, that was my woman. And I'd be, I almost cut. If you disrespect my woman, I don't care if you came out of her or not. You know what my father told me one time? I was a little knucklehead ripping around the streets. And I was a thug. I thought I was tough.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And one day I decided to talk back to my mother. Now, mind you, most of my troubles was in the streets. I didn't really bring much home because my parents were honorable people. I didn't really have issues with my parents, you know. But, man, I come home. My little cousin said actual factual, cuz. I come home and I decided to pop off to my mother. something she said. She was trying to check me or something. I ain't like. The moment she walked out of my face and I saw her grab her phone, I knew she was calling my father. But guess what? I had the understanding that, oh, shoot, my father is going to enforce the respect for my mother. See, I feel like the Matrix has got us to look at each other as the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
When in all actuality, the black man is supposed to be the support or the enforcer to the voice of the black woman.
Mm.
See, doing activism work.
Talk.
When I hear Tamika Mallory speak, I'm to enforce what she's already said. She's younger than me. But guess what? Age doesn't matter when it comes to the foundation of truth.
Right.
Black women have always, number one, they're the only species of race in human history that has the genome to produce any other race. That's number one. So if in all actuality, if you want to be truthful, they're the gods of all of us.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
A lot of sissified niggas
Bands.
spit on black women, and it's because their mama was an ain't-ish chick.
Also known as back to front women. We'll talk about that at another time.
Thirdly, there's a lot of black women in today's society, 2021, who have learned devalued behavior. And so it's easy for a nigga to put in a rap song, I'll piss in a cup and call it lemonade and she'll drink it. When I heard
Is that a line?
Yes,
that is a
See,
line.
that's why I don't listen to the radio. Who is that?
Man, I don't even.
Yeah. We'll talk about that off air.
Oh,
I can't say the nigga's name because I know him on a personal level.
Yeah.
But that's a level.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
When I heard the lyric,
I was long about it.
I was automatically offended. See, I think people get me twisted. I think because I'm married to a white Mexican female, they don't think I have it. I understand that the black woman is God.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. And I will always fight and protect the black woman until we get our own and out of white supremacy.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's no need for me to fight for it no more because we're free. But people have a perception of black women, and black women have helped with this perception because, oh, we don't need no man.
that's right.
Oh, my mouth is so ratchet that I don't show the man respect in the home. I don't need to cook. Nigga, you need to buy me A, B, and C. Oh, you can't even spend time with me unless you buy me a Birkin bag or whatever but I don't even know the brand.
Birkin is
yeah,
what it
yeah,
is
yeah.
right now.
Okay. So like, or black women feel like they can talk low to a black man because they have the certificate from a white supremacist school.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm setting it up like this because I want us to really evaluate who the real enemy is. Because when I look at black women, I don't view them as enemies. I view them as dag. As a black man, I don't have the ability to free them yet. And that's depressing to me. Because as the civilizers of the world,
Facts.
our women should be the most freest beings walking the planet right now.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have a nation without a woman. I don't care how great science is and niggas want to change their sex. By the way, do you know that black culture didn't even have homos? Anyway.
That's not what your dentist said.
Yeah, okay. But okay, I said a lot. Talk to me. What are y'all feeling about what I said? I don't even want to ask a question. Just dialogue with what I just said right now. What are you feeling? What? Because I don't want. Because there's a guy that does, and I emailed this person, this man, and he was afraid to come on the show tonight. His name is Kevin. I'm not gonna say his last name. He was afraid to come on the show tonight because he didn't want to have a dialogue that would destroy his momentum, the momentum of his brand at the moment. That was his exact words. And if this nigga think I'm capping, I will post the email on social media. Don't play with me. I'm not. I don't cap.
Fire.
So don't do that, because I'm telling you, I want you to say I'm capping, because I will blast it everywhere. And I know a lot of great people that will help share the post. Anyway, but my thing is, if I see a flaw in a black woman, I'm never going to publicize that to the world. I'm going to pull her to the side and say, this is your flaw. As a king, it's my responsibility to protect the kingdom. That includes the woman. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. Y'all go ahead. Talk to me.
I think you summed it up. I mean, all of this back and forth is exhausting, and it's sad. I mean, you even mentioned the ain't-ish black mama.
Hold up. Time out. What I've, from my perspective, what I've heard that's been placed on social media has been the black woman attacking the black man in this specific month. Okay, go ahead.
So that is the rhetoric. I my only question to that is, okay, she might be not about anything. However, why is the parent that decided to stay being crucified and not the one who left? Because that is a circular thing where I'm just like,
but let's look at it from this perspective.
Yeah.
To touch on that point.
Yeah.
Did he leave? Or did he get kicked out?
And did he get kicked out? And what was gained if he's not in the home?
Semantics. I feel like I don't. I do think. I mean, okay, let's say that's a percentage, right? But can we say that in every single case that's the case? Like the man was kicked out. That's why he's not. What? That's what I'm saying. In every case, is that the story? You understand what I'm saying? So I know a lot of stories where it's just like, hey, I tried to get dad to be involved. I've made it very easy. Just as many cases people want to say she made it very difficult, and for sure that's happening.
Yeah.
But I've seen also the opposite, where it's just like, I had a friend tell me yesterday his father was not around growing up.
Yeah.
And when
my biological wasn't either. I didn't meet my biological till I was in my 30s. My 20s. My mid-20s at that. But yeah.
I'm gonna just say this. I know friends who've had mothers who made it very difficult for the fathers, and the fathers still showed up. I think about my dad, who was not perfect by any stretch.
Let's talk about that for a second.
I dare my mother to try to have been difficult with my dad. He would have kidnapped us and had us on a boat to China before that could have ever happened.
So let me ask this of you, black woman.
Yeah.
How can a black man who really wants to love on his children, how can he show that love if he's getting warfare from the mama?
Those are his kids. I don't have
when a system is designed to support the mama and kick out the father.
There is a system. Again, I may be green, but I do think that there are also many resources in place that if you really want to be available, it's going to be a fight. But if you really want to be available,
I know a brother. I asked this because I know someone who bought a house.
Okay.
Moved his baby mother and the children were living there in the house with him.
Okay.
she put him on child support. One, this nigga is paying all the bills, and he has to pay child support.
All I'm gonna say is,
And I'm not saying that that's the total. Remember, in this show is some banal,
yeah,
so it's
yeah,
not
yeah. Right.
absolute.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna give his business all I get. Yeah.
I'm gonna just say this: whatever the parents got going on,
Mhm.
the kids don't need to be the sacrificial lambs. Because at the end of the day, I think a lot of times, like just as you can say the man is being kicked out, the woman can say I was being abused, I was being, whatever story to make it be like, hey, I don't feel safe with him around. I don't feel safe with him and my children around. At the end of the day, your kids are getting affected. And I think a lot of these adults, both sides, get real personal, and it's no longer about the children. So I don't get caught up in that personally, because I just feel like there's a lot of stickiness in between both parties, that she's wrong. And there's also some choices he makes because he's upset. And then the kids are getting the bad and the sick. At the end of the day, those are your kids. I just know what my dad did. There was never, ever, ever going to be that option. I think about my uncles. There was never, ever, ever, ever going to be that option. So I grew up with men in my life where it was just like, what? This is me growing up. When I did see men who were like, she's holding me back, I was just like, I don't know. Because I'd seen the men in my family who, she doesn't matter. These are my kids. I dare you.
Yeah.
These are my kids.
Yeah.
I dare you.
I have a friend who's a friend of the show as well, Zoe Williams, who has a younger son who was reaching out to his son and even using his older son, which was the older brother, to reach out to the younger son. The younger son couldn't respond because the mama said, you can't respond to your father until you're 18.
That's toxic. Toxic mother.
One thing I love about Zoe, I love that nigga to death. That's my big brother for life. Is that he didn't blame the mama. He blamed his immaturity in the relationship with the mama.
And that's a lot of times what it is.
That caused that.
Yeah.
I don't see that same accountability. I would say it's a 45% that I've seen that same self-evaluation of wrongdoing in relationships when it comes to the black man and the black woman.
Can I interject something?
Yeah.
I think if some banal, is that what y'all saying?
Yeah, some banal.
I think if a lot of fathers just said, even if you're like, I'm not wrong, for the sake of your child, I bet you if you go to that mother and say, hey, I'm sorry. I bet money, whatever money that I may have out there that I don't know about, like, I bet money that will resolve a lot of the cases. I can't give you a percentage, but a lot of these mothers that are doing that are hurt.
You're speaking from a perspective of you. A lot of black women in younger generations don't have, and when I say this, I'm not saying like you haven't been hurt. I'm not saying this as you haven't had your own experience to where like you still have that hurt that you carry. So I don't want you to take my statement as I'm dismissing your experience. What I'm saying is there's a generation under you that I feel like, from my opinion, you are responsible to correct and mentor. But there's a younger generation to where they don't really care for their children to have a relationship with the father. And the father's the bad guy because he realized that the mama didn't want to settle down and have a family. a lot of men that I went to school with, I'm talking about hood thug niggas.
Mm.
I'm talking about niggas that I wouldn't even step to on a even if I was pissed off and like to the highest degree, I would go to the niggas and be like, hey, can we just sit down and talk?
Right.
I'm talking about these type of dudes
Yeah.
who have cried on my shoulder because they just want to see their kid.
Mm.
I'm talking about like a FaceTime video. At least just let the child see me. I'm knocking on the door. I'm driving to the school. I've got restraining orders on me because I can't go to the school. You don't want me near the child. And it's because I just don't want to be with you.
Right.
Mhm.
I don't even have another woman. I just don't want to be with you.
Right.
How can that black man feel like they matter? And I'm asking because there's going to be people that's going to watch this episode that needs to hear a black woman say certain words that only a black woman can heal a black man in. So again, I'm not saying this to combat.
Yeah.
I'm saying this because there's people that really watch this show for healing.
Mm.
We've had callers
Uh-huh.
that called in
Mhm.
that was being physically abused
Mm-hmm.
and wanted to find a way of escape and things like that. So how can a concerned black father who really wants to be in their child's life, but not only the mother is blocking them, but the mother has invited the law into blocking them. And they don't even want to cause no chaos. They don't want to cause no conflict. They just want to spend time with their child. And so, as a black woman, how would you give advice to a black man in that type of a situation? How would you encourage? Because what I've heard is going on social media is there's been about a lot of this going back and forth. But how can we encourage one another to be better towards one another? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, like, even if the father is a deadbeat nigga who don't deserve the right to be called a father, is there an uncle around? Is there a community person or mentor or someone around that can be viewed as this is an example of what manhood looks like or
Right.
womanhood looks like? What kind of encouraging words could a black woman give to uplift the black man's spirit in this moment? Because
You
And
asked a goddamn question.
I know. I'm sorry, but it's just because the most important relationship to me is the black man and the black woman
Mm.
because it's been the most targeted,
Yeah.
especially by the system that we're colonized under.
Shit.
It is the most targeted. I mean, shout out to Lyndon B. Johnson and the FBI in the 50s and 60s and 70s that totally dismantled the black home. Told the black woman, you can't have a home unless the black man is out of your house. And if we're going to inspect once a month to see if that nigga's living there. But anyway, like, let me say it more personally. If you had a baby father who was black and was like, I don't want to be with you, I just want to be with the child, what would be your response?
Well, I don't have plans to have a baby father.
No, I'm not saying.
I know you didn't.
I didn't mean that in that.
I
Okay.
promise you I didn't receive it that way. I just
Okay.
want to encourage that we can work to like be with one another and marry each other and then start a family. That is okay too. I'm just putting that message out there.
As a fact.
But that being said, it is about my child. My child did not ask to be here. And as adults, as we claim to be,
Mhm.
you need to put yourself outside. It's not about you
So
anymore.
let's talk to the teenage baby mothers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bringing this up because my mother is about to open, like, our other building is being renovated right now because for us it's a family support center for teen mothers
Mm-hmm.
who have become pregnant and can't finish school, so their child get to go through the child care center that we have while they finish their education.
Good.
What are some words you would say to that black woman who got deceived by the slick talk of a young black man, young adult, got pregnant, had the child, kept it, because a lot of people are opting out nowadays.
Not this black.
And they have this child now, but they're still in school.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't finished their education. Talk to me.
It's not about you.
Mm.
It's not about you. You didn't know. You knew a child was coming, but you don't know who was coming. You didn't invent that child. It is not your say so. Like, you know, our parents used to say, I took you, I made you, I brought you into this, or I can take you out. That's not true.
That is illegal.
That's
going
not
to
true.
Jail.
It's not true. The inventor, the creator, has a special assignment. Don't you obstruct what the inventor has set to be here.
Mm.
Don't you intervene or block that.
Mm.
So here we are. You connected with someone else, and the greatest cause of that might have been this child. Breathe as many. Some of us are not equipped to do this job. But let's keep it funky.
Yeah.
We're not equipped.
Yeah.
But heal yourself so that you don't bleed onto your child.
Mm.
Heal yourself so you can bleed. You're not bleeding onto that child, because that child has an assignment. Pour into that.
And that's so I've been quiet for a little bit, but I just kind
Yeah.
of listen.
Yeah.
So the one thing, all right, so your first statement, I agreed and disagreed, but then what you said is just to heal yourself.
Yeah.
So and I think in the black community we have a lot of sayings, and we love them.
Mm-hmm.
But when we say like it's not about you, it's like partially correct but partially incorrect because of what you said at the end of like you got to heal yourself because you do have to be a better parent.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing I think that, especially like older generations where they've been told like it's not about you, it's about the kids. It actually is.
Can I say one thing?
Go ahead.
It's bigger than you.
Okay.
It's bigger than you. So let me correct that. It's bigger than you. Like you are a piece of the pie. You are the speck in the stars. Like you are the puzzle piece. So you can't just think of individual. It is a tribe. We are all interconnected. You know, sometimes you come up with an idea. You know how many times I heard people say, oh, I came up with an idea and then I saw it on Shark Tank, because we're all wired. We're connected. No matter how different we say we are, we're connected. But this is a very direct connection to you.
Yes.
So it's bigger than you.
Yes. And that's the one thing is, and I think a lot of people kind of hold on to like, it's not about me kind of thing, to where it's like, it is about you. It is about how you are going to, you and you both who created this child, how you all are going to conduct yourself in raising this child. Because sometimes I think we forget that we are raising this child to be a part of a greater community. And that's the thing, is kind of like with the narrative is like, oh, I don't need a man to raise this child. That's false. You don't have to be in a relationship. Okay, but every child needs a man and a woman in their life.
Because those are the two that came together to make them. So yeah.
Yes. And so when we went through like a very harsh period of like, I don't need anybody to help raise this, especially for being a man that's been raised by a single woman. I heard that a lot of like, I don't need no man to raise you, but it's like, but you can't teach me certain things on how to be a man. So like, yes, you don't need my father around per se, but I do need a male in my life.
Right.
So that's where I think is like the narratives that gets told to us that we hold on and then we just kind of spread them around. And those are the things that's like some of those things are toxic. And we love those things. We love, I don't need a man to raise my child, or we love those things. And it ends up becoming a badge of honor. And that's the part where for me, I'm just like, I get it. You can do it. That's cool, but it doesn't necessarily have a good result. So and that's the one thing of, it doesn't matter if you're a young parent or not, but still at the same time, it's just like, but what are you doing for yourself that's going to be an example to this child, and we talked about earlier on like forcing them into a career. It doesn't matter if you have your stuff together or not.
Yeah.
Like people are under the assumption that, if you got, 2-parent household, like the child's going to be perfect. Everything's going to be good.
Right.
That's not even guaranteed.
That's true.
Father home or not, mother home or not, it depends on if you're toxic. That's really what it is.
Right.
So I think really a lot of the propaganda, a lot of the policies that we don't even know we're fighting against sometimes. And then also in some aspects is that we don't believe we got to work on ourselves to be better parents. And that's the part for myself where I'm just like, we really got to start correcting, because we're making a mistake with somebody else. Like we have fun, we got pregnant. Oh shit, what do we do next?
Mm-hmm.
But we don't ever, it's not really like we created a human being.
Mm-hmm.
So are we going to be toxic and create another toxic human being? Because there's a lot of single women that raise kids and they're like, I'm so proud he went to college, but you damaged that child.
That's true.
And one article title I saw that rings in my head so much is just like, women are creating the men that they hate.
That's true.
By how they raise their sons.
That's true.
And it's just like, and that's the thing, is that cycle keeps going around because we're just listening to narratives. We're listening to like, oh, black men don't want to be with black women. That's like 1 out of 4 or 5 black men are dating outside the race.
Right.
So like, that's the thing. So it's just like, so all these narratives and things are just like, oh, nobody's trying to get, like, we never had black, marriages like that. We had an 80% marriage rate before the 60s, before the FBI and the CIA went ham and destroyed our infrastructure of our family. We weren't getting divorced. We were staying together. That wasn't back in the day. That was 40 years ago.
Right.
And then our family got attacked. So that's the thing, is just like, okay, that happened. That was traumatizing. All these boomers, and actually you look up the divorce rate, the highest generation is with the boomers. Because they went through all that. They saw Malcolm get killed, Martin get killed,
Facts.
Black Panthers come and go and get killed,
Facts.
Kennedy get killed.
Facts.
All these institutions that were made to help our community destroyed and killed. And then they say, look, we're going to make a system like what the Black Panthers did. But we're going to penalize you if you don't do it our way. And
Shout
our
out
way
to the
is
WIC
keep the
program.
black man out of your home.
That's right.
And so our family infrastructure has been attacked so much, but we don't know that. All we hear and we relate to is just the hurt and the trauma after their attacks. And that's, we kind of got to look back and be like, where did this tension come from?
Yeah.
It didn't come from us.
Yeah.
Because we always loved each other. It was us because there was no one else.
Right.
So it's just like, so at what point did that turn
Mm-hmm.
to where it's like, now we're talking like, oh, we can't even trust each other. Like, we calling each other niggas and hoes, and like, you ain't worth something. And like, oh, broke boys don't deserve pussy. So it's like, what? Like,
Right.
that wasn't even a part of us. So all that came from the targeting of the black family. So that's the thing, is like, in order for us to even get over that, we got to understand and recognize how traumatic that was on the black community and the black family. Because at the same time, is like, all that whole generation that like don't want to talk about that, them the ones that need therapy the most.
Right.
Because them the ones that still spiraling a lot of that narrative of just like, oh, you ain't need no man to raise no. It's like, you can't keep spitting that. At some point, something's got to change. I'm going to just end it right there. I was holding on to that for a little while.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 10:28. And I just want to say this. I don't want to demonize the black woman, and I don't want to isolate the black man. But I feel like I've been hearing a lot of argument about who's the most oppressed under white supremacy.
Everybody.
What you think?
And to be honest, I don't care who's most oppressed under white supremacy. I feel like no one should be oppressed under white supremacy. We can't fight against white supremacy as long as the white supremacist system has black women and black men fighting against each other.
Man, you better say that again.
Mm-hmm.
The black woman is the foundation of any nation on the earth.
Ever.
Point blank, period. I don't care what color or non-color your skin tone is.
He said non-color.
Yeah, because white is the absence of color, but we've been taught differently. Anyway,
Nope.
I think that if a black man has enough time to down talk a black woman, he in itself is showing that he's a beta male. I feel like if a black woman is taking her time to down talk a black man, she is showing her immaturity. I say that because there have been numerous accounts of black women who've raised strong black men without damaging the image of their father. There's been a lot of black men who have fought to be in their children's lives and have been disrupted by the system because the black woman invited them into the home. We have to stop looking at each other as the enemy. First of all, let me say something that Kevin Samuels was alluding to that I disagree with. And if the nigga got a problem with what I say, at Choo Radio, at Mr. Randy Choo, hit me up. We can even debate about it. I highly doubt that you want to debate me though, because see, I'm being gentle right now, but debate me and you'll see why you'll understand why a lot of people have walked away from debates from me. In order for the black struggle and society to move forward, we don't need to call out hoes or niggas, which, by the way, the word nigga derived from the word negus, which means offsprings of the Most High. But white folks try to manipulate the definition. We need to come together and point the gun, whether it's social media, or a physical gun, at the right enemy. Because Africanus and Amerigo Vespucci was only able to become conquerors because they were able to separate the black man from the black woman.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know who they are, they're the reason why the continent of Africa is called Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the reason why the continent of America is called America.
Mm-hmm. They didn't teach you that in history class.
In fact, the word discovery in history wasn't because they found a land. It was because they were given permission to conquer a land from a pope. Not gonna give that history right now. But anyway, long story short, if you don't like black women twerking, dancing on poles, sleeping with multiple men, or being ratchet, don't bash them in the system of white supremacy. Elevate their mind so that they won't do that no more. If the nigga ain't ish, if he ain't taking care of his responsibilities, don't bash him in a system of white supremacy. Elevate his mind. See, don't do it with the nagging. Provoke that man to want to grow. And if he doesn't want to grow, you know what the village used to do?
Tell them.
Bring that nigga before the elders so we can kick that nigga about.
And you're lucky if you get that.
Yeah, that's real. Like, exile was mercy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then let us set you up with a nigga that's going to take care of what you got going on
It's
without you
murder.
feeling like you in an arranged marriage.
Right. It's murder.
See, this is where
Holla.
the Bloods and Crips are supposed to,
What it initially started as.
because you're not going to disrespect a woman. Let me say it more blunt as I'm ending the show. You're not going to stick your dick inside this woman unless you're able to handle the responsibilities of what that is going to produce.
Right.
And if you can't handle the responsibility, we're going to try to set you up with a job. And if you fail in that area, we're just going to beat the brakes off you. And then we're going to provide the woman with the support that she needs. At the same time, woman, you're going to give this man the opportunity to become a man.
Mm.
Because a man can't become a man unless he goes through the woman. That's the whole point of being called Pharaoh or king or God, is because you need the woman's approval. We can't become until the woman births us into becoming. I'm not just talking about physically. Mentally and spiritually, the woman is the womb in which the black man is birthed into greatness.
Oh man.
Point blank, period.
Yeah, you preaching today, son.
That nigga spitting.
We're gonna pick this up next. We're gonna pick this up next
That
Monday
nigga spitting.
That nigga's bad.
because I need this warfare to end. Because there's a lot of great black women and a lot of great black men who haven't been taught to search out other great black women and great black men.
I can't wait till we talk about that subject. Oh my god.
We've been taught to date the chick that got the tits in the butt and the nigga that got the bank account and the abs. I lost my abs. I used to have abs.
I didn't even have abs.
I had abs. I was ripped, nigga. I was that dude. Trust me. I got pictures. I was the
I abs went in the way. That was it. That's the only
But-
time I had
My
abs.
six pack had a six pack.
I just have
we've been brainwashed
Let me go.
by the white colonization to view the outward without interrogating the inward.
Hmm.
It's your boy Randy Choo, aka Mr. Choo on that. I'm just gonna stop right there. We're gonna pick up next Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to guess for next Monday because I feel. Well, you know what?
Collins.
We definitely gonna take call-ins and all that stuff. But anyway, at the end of the day, you have to realize that any bashing you do against each other is done on a white supremacist platform. Think before you post. Think before you type. Think before you text. Think before you call. Think before you file that case. And black men need to bring the eldership back in the community. Because if we do that, we won't have to worry about these bad apples being propagated as the majority when they're really not. It's your boy Randy Choo, aka Mr. Choo, and that, and you can choke on these topics. We'll see you next week. Deuces.